I believe that the times that define us the most are the times where nothing is happening. It could be because of our choices and up to our choice. It could be because of reasons beyond our control, but how we act in times where nothing is happening can ultimately sway our lives. It can make us pursue the good nature and a better future for us in the world, or it could set us down a dangerous path. When these times of nothing, or these nothing times, come about, understand that they have a reason, that they are important, and that it is up to us to make whatever it is of them. It's about that time of the year where summer is starting to wind down. Yes, we still have another full month of summer, but it also feels like most of summer has played out. I've been seeing memes recently online because The Odyssey just came out. I saw that. I wanted to actually do a video in relation to lessons from The Odyssey. I decided not to do that for this week, maybe next week or the future. I still have to think a little bit more about the movie. I don't know if I want to see it again in a different format. I just saw it in regular format. But I've been seeing memes where people are saying, oh, now that The Odyssey is out and I've seen The Odyssey, all I have left is Spider-Man. More recently, the World Cup ended. Spain, the champions of the World Cup. I saw that same meme being used. I saw people like, well, now all I have is Spider-Man. Spider-Man comes out in 2 weeks. I don't know what's after Spider-Man, but this is the time where we've done just about everything in this summer, and just about everything has happened. Not to say it hasn't all happened, but a lot of it has happened. I've been mentioning movies coming out, big events ending. The MLB All-Star break has already passed. The NBA Finals was way back in June. It seems like forever ago, though it's still cool to think about and understand that the Knicks won the NBA Finals after all those years where they hadn't won that drought. But this is the time in summer where it might be a little bit too hot, and as compared to, in some cases, going outside, going to the beach, hanging out with your friends, you're inside. You're blasting the air conditioning because it is so hot and humid outside that you don't want to even go outside to begin with. And there's a lot of nothing on your plate. Yes, you may be someone who is employed. Right now, currently, I'm not too employed. I'm by select basis employed. You leave the house to, let's say, go to your job. You still come back home every night. Regardless of your situation, this time right now is a time that we have faced before and that we will face time and time again throughout our lives, not just because it's the end of the summer, but year-round. It's a nothing time. A time where, in a way, nothing is happening. A time where it seems very easy, if it isn't easy every day, to sit in our bed, to sit on a couch of some form of furniture, sit somewhere, continue to scroll on our phone, continue to watch something on a screen, and stick there for a while. A lot of these boring and these times of nothing can become times of boredom. I know for me, I've found a habit for me that I need to work on, and eventually I will get more chances to work on it in the coming months, is when my mom is out working, I really don't want to do anything. I want to just relax. I don't want to do anything, whether it be positive or negative. I just want to relax. spend time in front of that air conditioner, on that couch. Sometimes on my phone, sometimes not on my phone. Currently, I'm actually listening through, and re-listening rather, through the Harry Potter series, the full cast edition that's all been released. I'm on Order of the Phoenix, not Order of Order the. I'm on Order of the Phoenix. Order of the Phoenix. I'm about halfway done with that as of the time of this recording. But it's times of nothing, and these nothing times where we don't want to feel bored. I say the root of a lot of, I wouldn't say, and I'll say it, why not? I'd say the root of a lot of issues that arise in our lives come from us wanting to escape boredom. They come from wanting us to escape nothing times where nothing is happening. Because finding what we want to do and putting effort towards what we want to do, putting effort into work that in our eyes is deemed successful and worthy, can be very hard. In place of those actions and of those results and of those realizations, it can be very easy, and we fall for it every day, to partake in other actions that aren't healthy for us. But regardless of whether or not they're healthy actions, we choose them because we get that stimulation. We get that overall feeling. Those chemicals fire in our brain. And those brain chemicals and those emotions, those pathways, those that fire together, wire together, often happen on unhealthy choices, on unhealthy decisions, on tasks where our brain and our minds can flood with so much stimulation, with so much that's going on, and we feel so many feelings that we look past the absolute fact that what we are doing is wrong for us. On the other side, we could know what we are doing is not good for us, and we can still find ourselves doing it anyway. We could find ourselves looking past those thoughts and those feelings and following those urges, even though we tell ourselves and we know that they're not exactly what we need to do, and they're actually the opposite of what we need to do. We still follow them anyways. This isn't something that you will handle one day. This isn't something that you will solve in one day. This also isn't something that you build in one day. This isn't something that just springs up out of nowhere. Hey, why is this happening to me? Why am I going for this? Why am I doing this to myself? I promise you it's been building. Whether you know it or not, it's building. It could be because you are growing. I don't want to go into too many specifics. I do not have a degree in this field. But puberty will make the mind, and growing up, your mind is constantly changing. You are learning so many new things on the fly. And in a way, those bad habits that you will stumble upon are a part of that. Not just having that happen to you and you questioning why, but learning how to not do them in the future. But it's always happening. The other side of this happening and us knowing and understanding we don't want this to happen is the next part, where we have to learn how to deal with these urges of what to do, of these urges to do something that isn't healthy for us. And I wouldn't say fully replacing it, because in one way or another you will have these thoughts at some point again. I don't think there goes a time, even in people that are extremely disciplined and have everything going for them, where they don't have these thoughts during these points and these stretches of time where they're not doing anything. They've just learned how to deal with them on a much better level. Whether it be they put themselves forth towards a vision, they set a goal for themselves and they attack it. They utilize this time where they're doing nothing to their advantage. They find times, I know I do this sometimes, when I don't necessarily want to record videos. I reset myself. I lie on my bed and I do deep breaths for 10 minutes. You'd be surprised how good that works. You'd be surprised how in this world where we are constantly learning and seeing everything happen in front of us, whether it be on a screen or whether it be when we get to our jobs and we experience the world, how well silence, and if you want to put it this way, a stretch of nothing time can help us. It isn't, again, like how we get to these points where something is happening against us and something that's bad for us. It is not as simple as doing it one day and solving it forever. You have to consistently, like any relationship, like any job, like anything that you want or desire or you have in this life, you have to consistently choose it. You have to consistently choose it. And when these times come up, you have to have a plan of attack. I've mentioned the time where it's a designated nothing time, where you do nothing. It could be you work out. It could be you learn a new skill. It could be you play an instrument. In some cases, I know with lustful thoughts, I haven't done a video on lust and everything involved in that in some time. I did it a few months back. It could be as simple as moving out of the environment to get out of the headspace that you're in. But there will be many times in life that are nothing times. When these times come up, you have a decision that you have to make. And I'm not saying that every time you will choose the righteous path. You will choose that right path. You will choose to not let that thought and not let this decision affect you. There will be times where you won't get there. You won't be perfect. What life can be about, and what life is in some ways about, is choosing that right path for a majority of these nothing times. Whether they're by design, whether they come up on their own. You need to make that choice. And once you make that choice and you put yourself into something, a project, something related to an organization, or working on yourself internally, that is the best way that we can get past these times where nothing is happening, where boredom can easily sway us. When we do that, that's when we choose consciously to be better, to live a better life, and pursue a better perspective than the one that we already have.
Bonus content.
I would go see The Odyssey if you haven't seen it already. I know some people, and I've seen some media where some of the castings and whatnot get some flack. My standing on it, these characters that you're complaining about to an unsustainable level, I'm not going into specifics, they're not the main characters. They aren't on the screen that much for them to be getting as much of the negative attention as they get. They're barely on the screen. Overall, though, it is a great movie. I can't imagine how it was in IMAX. It was normal and it was loud. I can't imagine how it sounds in IMAX. That was the first Christopher Nolan movie I've seen in theaters since Dunkirk, so it's been a while. I didn't see Oppenheimer or Tenet, I believe. I hadn't seen in theaters since Dunkirk. But go see The Odyssey. Maybe I'll talk about it next week. I have to remember exactly what Calypso said to Odysseus before he left. That's not quite spoilers, but also some spoilers, so I'll leave it at that. In these nothing times, again, make the right choice. Bye now.